Alright everybody, JT Bear here, and welcome to the kitchen channel that desperately needs a new name. But today, what we are going through is I'm going to do one of those, saw it on Pinterest kind of things. Mini cheese balls. These things look delicious and simple. So I'm on that like white on rice. So let's give this a try. Now, I don't know how well you can see my writing here, but this looks really simple. Basically cream cheese, shredded cheese, bacon, garlic powder, onion powder, salt, and chopped pecans. Alright, now that I've cut up my bacon and got it sizzling and crisping, I'm just getting a few other things taken care of over on the counter. I've got an unknown amount of cheese here, hoping there might be extra, but extra cheese, yeah, right. Got some pecan halves here. Supposed to have crushed pecans, so roll them with a rolling pin. You gotta love easy. The recipe calls for 16 ounces of cream cheese. We have 8, and I have to share, so I'm using 4. And, of course, assorted spices. Of course. Hot peppers. Do I do anything without this little jar? I don't think so. So on the recipe for spices it listed garlic powder, onion powder, and salt. Well, yeah. Parsley, garlic, hot peppers, salt, dried chives, or green onions. Same difference, really. Gonna mix up a bunch of those. Add it to the cheese, add it to the cream cheese, and then maybe I'll get Shocks to do some camera, because cheese ball, camera hands doesn't sound good. Alright, so the bacon is cut and cooked until crisp, and now I am drying it off in a paper towel. Mix the ingredients except the pecans. I can do that. Okay. We'll dump out the now dried, beautifully crispy bacon into roughly 4 ounces of cream cheese. Now, in theory, by the recipe card, this should be like 1/4 cup of cheese, but it's not. Just plunk in, schwack a load of cheese there, because cheese is good. And then I've got my assorted spices. I already gave you guys the rundown on what's in there. There's garlic and chives and salt and, of course, my hot peppers. Oh my, plunk. Now, it's just a matter of getting gooey and having fun with foods. Now, it's a good time to remember, people, if you're going to go to the bathroom while you're cooking, make sure you wash your hands before you get back to it, okay? Talk about potluck nightmares. Jeez. Alright? So, I have washed my hands. It's all good. The dog has washed my hands. It's all good. As Shocks is making disgusted faces, and I know my work here is well on the way.
Gross Out Award.
Yay, I get the Gross Out Award. And speaking of the Gross Out Award, this is a really fun feeling. I recommend doing this just so you can play with the cream cheese. This is gross. I like it. Anyway, we're going to mix it through here. And I almost could have gotten away with more shredded cheese, but I ate it. So, that didn't happen. Okay, I'm going to eat it. It's called on my bull crap by the cameraman. Oh, look at that. Cream cheese on the toaster. Flick. I need bagels in there now. See, trying to get it kind of as thoroughly mixed up as you can. Every time you squeeze through it, can you see bacon? Can you see your spices? Can you see the mixtures of cheeses, right? And we're making approximately 1/4 of what the recipe that I'm going to link in the doobly-doo below calls for. So, generally you're going to have more cheese ball in this. The ones that I used to get were actually about this size. You know what? I think we're going to skip the mini part of this, because I used to get cheese balls about this size from a good friend of my mom's who knew I loved her cheese balls. They didn't have bacon in them though.
Can I interrupt? You can always take a little bit off and do a couple little balls.
But it's so beautiful.
It's very beautiful.
Now, you're supposed to make this from about 2 tablespoons, but we're going with the whole damn thing here. And then you just take it, and I'll move this over. You can see why I didn't want to touch the camera. Now we're just going to take this and roll it in the rolled and crushed and battered and beaten pecans. Just hard enough to kind of sink them into the surface, because what this does is it gives a gentle crunch to an otherwise creamy treat that you're putting on your cracker. I used to get these frozen, so having one fresh is going to be an incredible treat for me. But basically, that's what your cheese ball is going to look like. We're going to want to let this set in the fridge for probably 5 to 10 minutes before we cut it, at least, because that bacon was still kind of warm so the cheeses would melt. We'll get back to it when we cut this bad boy in half. Alright, well, we just had a delightful visit with a neighbor, so this got a good, I don't know, probably 20 to 30 minutes sitting in the fridge. It's nice and solid now. Let's take a look at it, and we'll cut this open and see how it worked. Come on down. So as you can see, this is nice and firm. And while I shouldn't do this for serving purposes, I'm going to do it because I want to see how it looks. Oh, I crushed the bottom of it just like, oh yeah. See? That I should have probably made the bacon a lot smaller, but it's bacon, so didn't happen. Just gonna cut off a chunk of that and find myself potato chip, because you know I didn't think ahead and get some proper like stoned wheat thins or Ritz crackers or the kind of stuff you would normally have with this. So let's officially try it, shall we? Alright, I have to say, while I didn't necessarily think it was possible to get better than those ones that I used to have, they didn't have bacon, nor did they have hot peppers, and that is freaking amazing. So, seriously, that is so easy and so quick, and such an awesome holiday treat. If you've got a party or whatever to go to, whip some of these up. People are going to think you spent forever on them, and they are going to just be singing your praises all night long. Now, speaking of which, I'm going to go finish this up. And, yeah. Thanks for joining. If you do give it a try, let me know down below in the comments. And like I said, check down in the doobly-doo down there. I'm going to try and put in the link to where I found this actual recipe. And they were considerably smaller, so, you know, I should have gotten probably half a dozen out of this, but I didn't. It's just the two of us, so why waste? Yeah, that's it. Alright everybody, thanks for joining and have yourselves a fantastic day. Go play in the kitchen.